We're back again, another episode of Dating After Diagnosis with Matt and Lauren. And today we're going to talk about how we found humor during the hard times. It may not have been funny while it was happening, but we can look back at it now and say, okay, that was a little comical. So one of the first things that comes to mind is when Matt was going through chemotherapy, and I like to perform what I call some of my signature wrestling moves on him, aka the Monster Lock and the Monster Slam. And this was when Matt was...
I was at my weakest at this point.
He got weaker in the hospital, but...
During chemo.
I mean, he didn't feel good, he felt nauseous, he was really lethargic, and we really just sat around, took naps, and watched TV. So there wasn't a whole lot going on, so I was like, let's have fun, let's wrestle.
Yeah, let's take advantage of Matt when he's at his weakest, is basically what Lauren's trying to tell me.
If you look at it that way. But anyway, so I'm like, alright, I'm gonna get him into this compromising position where he couldn't move his arms and his legs, and I pinned him, and he started to be like, I don't feel good, get off, and the next thing you know...
Yeah, about 5 seconds later, she's like, oh, okay, I guess I'll let go of him after he's been screaming that he doesn't feel good. So I go to the bathroom, and I'm puking like crazy, and I mean, when I was done, I was just like, are you kidding me? And she's just over there smiling, like she did something like, you know, like, oh, I'm stronger than my boyfriend, or whatever she was thinking at the time. But I don't know what she was thinking. But yeah, not fair, taking advantage of me. But now that we look back at it, it is kind of funny. So I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. She can't do it anymore, so it doesn't matter.
I could probably monster slam you now if I tried.
Okay.
Wanna see?
That'll be for another episode, not this one. But yeah, so that's kind of one of our stories through chemo. And moving forward, when I was in the hospital, there were plenty of stories. So obviously coming out of my coma, I wasn't in the right state of mind. And the one thing I would do is I'd get fixated on things. And the number one thing I'd get fixated on was a drink, like a water or an orange juice, because I couldn't really get any actual liquids in me at the time because my stomach couldn't handle it. So I would be trying my best to finagle people like Lauren or the nurses or my friends to go and get me drinks.
Yes.
And one time, I had Lauren sitting to the right of me, and I had my Aunt Dawn sitting to the left of me, and they were giving me swaps. They weren't actually like giving me liquid. They were
like
giving
a
me
sponge that you dip in the water.
Yeah, so that's all I could have at the time. And Lauren eventually was like, all right, Matt, like I was just going crazy with it. And she's like, Matt, you've had enough, you're done.
The nurses had
He's
rules
done.
about this.
Yeah, and I'm like, no, just a couple more. She's like, no, Matt, you're done. I look over at her and I go, I hate you. And she just looks at me and is like, oh my gosh. So then I go right over to my Aunt Dawn and I'm like, hey Dawn.
As if she wasn't sitting there
like
witnessing the whole thing.
Yeah, I'm like, Dawn, can come on, can you please give me more? She's like, Dawn goes, Matt, you just heard Lauren. She said you can't do it. And I'm like, you bitch. And she looks at Lauren like, did he just say what I thought he said? And Lauren's I think they just started laughing. But at the time, I couldn't even move, like my hands or anything. They were like feeding me this. And all I wanted was water. I didn't care what it was going to take to get it. But so that was like one of the things I was fixated on.
Yeah, he would ask, like even the cleaning lady, he was like, hey baby, and then just try to like butter her up like she was going to give him something.
Hey, whatever it takes. I mean, the funny part is I actually remember some of these things like vaguely. So I can kind of remember, like I remember that part with Lauren and my Aunt Dawn. I don't remember calling the cleaning lady babe, but apparently I did, so...
Yeah, it was, no matter what you told him, he couldn't understand the rules and why we were holding out on giving him these things. He thought we were just being cruel, but really we had to make sure that his body could handle it. So it was definitely like reasoning with a toddler is what I equate it to.
Yeah, to put things in perspective, when my friends started to visit me, I wanted to go on vacation. Like I wanted to get, so this is what I would tell them. So like one time my friend Vince came over and I'm in my bed and I'm like, hey Vince, we're going to Kalahari next weekend. And he's like,
which is
what?
a local
It's like a local water park. He's like, I don't think so, Matt. I'm like, yeah, dude, this is all you gotta do. You just gotta wait till the nurses are gone, and you just gotta wheel me out of the hospital. We'll be good to go. And he's just like, I don't think I can do that, Matt. I'm like, yeah, we're going. And I would tell all my friends this, and eventually I'm like, no, we're going to Atlantis, like the place in the Bahamas. I'm like, we're going to Atlantis. I'm like, you just gotta get me my swimsuit and we'll be good to go. Just give me my swimsuit. I can't even get off my bed. I'm like, give me my swimsuit and we're going. And eventually my friends were just like, all right, I know what Matt's gonna do when he comes here. He's either gonna ask for water, he's gonna ask to go on vacation. So we're just gonna say, okay, yeah, we'll go on vacation tomorrow. I'll come and get you, don't worry. Or, oh, I'll go get you your water. Just give me a minute. So they just eventually gave in and was like, that was it.
Yeah, another day I had to go on a hunt all across Cleveland to every possible gas station at night looking for suckers for this guy. And he was just so determined to have a sucker. I think he just wanted, to have something on his tongue to just like have that taste. And since he couldn't actually ingest anything, he was allowed to at least do that. So his dad gave him the sucker once I finally found him after like 5 gas stations.
She was in the hood, like 6 gas stations in the hood, like finding these suckers for me. She finally gets there, gives me the sucker, which is the suckers with the gum in it. I go to lick it, and like after like 5 licks, I was like, screw this. And I tried to bite it, and my dad just rips the sucker from my hand. I'm like a 2-year-old. I'm like, give me my sucker. And he's like, absolutely not. You're not getting your sucker. And then Lauren's like, I just went like 3 hours out of my way to get these suckers, and Matt can't even enjoy a sucker. Oh my God.
Yeah, there were a lot of funny things, but also he was always trying to press the call button on the remote, and for no reason at all other than to probably be like, I need this or I need that. And the nurses were so sick of it, and the aides, they were like, not him again. So his dad would hide the call button. I mean, he would put it next to Matt, like if he had to leave the room, but we were pretty much in the room with him like 90% of the time. So we would have to hide it and put it as far away from his bed as possible so that he wouldn't press it every second of the day. We felt so bad for
my poor dad was just trying to sleep. I mean, he would get maybe an hour to an hour and a half of sleep, like no joke. And every time he'd start to doze off, I would make sure to ask, like, I'd be like, hey, Dad. And he wouldn't know answer. I'd be like, hey, Dad. And he'd be like, what? I'd be like, nothing, just seeing if you're awake. And he would get so upset. But, like, I mean, I felt bad for him because he's just trying to sleep. But I mean,
you did not feel bad.
I didn't. Now I
you
do. Now I do. And, I mean, I guess one last really funny story. It's not with my dad, but back to, like, the liquid. One time this was a little bit later on, but I was getting good at finagling these nurses. Like, at least I thought. Obviously, they weren't giving me the liquids, but one time, this nurse, it was a night shift, and it was a guy nurse just came in.
Well, I think it was because he was just walking by in the hall, and even though it wasn't his nurse, Matt would say, hey, you! He would spot people in the hallway. So he called over this other nurse that wasn't even his.
It was like 1 in the morning, and he'd be like, yeah, how can I help you? I'm like, can I get some orange juice? Going on with the story, so the nurse is like, I don't know if I can get him his orange juice. I'm like, no, I'm fine. I can get orange juice. And, like I was saying before, I had some reps with me, so I was like, yeah, I can definitely get it. So he goes and gets me the orange juice. I get this orange juice, and I drink it in like 10 seconds. I'm like in a chugging contest. I get this orange juice, and it's gone. Within like 2 minutes, I am clicking the call button, puking while clicking the call button because I couldn't drink that much liquid, and all these nurses come flooding in. They're like, who gave you the orange juice? Who gave you the orange juice? I'm like, I don't know, and I'm puking, I'm crying, and everything's just going wrong. But I don't know, my mind was in another planet.
Yeah.
So, those are just a couple of the stories that like kind of was going through our head at the time. So
yeah, I'm sure there was a lot of other funny moments, but those kind of just stuck out to us. And hopefully you guys, if you know Matt, and you visited him,
comment below some good stories.
Tell us anything you remember that was funny or memorable.
Yes, comment below, 'cause I want to hear everybody's stories if they've known me throughout this, because I know there's a lot more out there. So once again, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, a little different, and we will definitely see you guys in the upcoming one very soon. And going forward, we will do a mixture of things. We'll do some funny. We'll do a little bit of serious stuff. We might talk about COVID, things like that.
The current situation.
Exactly.
Not necessarily all cancer related, but
Yep.
that's about it.
That'll be it, and we will see you guys soon. Bye.